Hi, I'm Leigh Johnson from Proud-autistic Coaching. Today I wanted to share about my personal sensory awakening, kind of the challenges that I had, and just so that for others who are going through the same thing, that to know that there is hope, that there are things you can do, and these are the things that helped me. And just to know that you're not alone. This is a really big challenge for autistic adults in general and kids, but my focus is on adults. So, a couple of months before I realized I was autistic, an acquaintance posted a graphic from Psyched Mommy on Facebook. If you know me now, you're probably laughing to find out that I had absolutely no idea that I had sensory sensitivities before seeing this image. I really had no clue. I didn't even know that this was a thing. And it's hard for me to conceive of my cluelessness now and what it was like in the past because these days I'm all about honoring and protecting my sensory system. So here's the graphic. It's called Sensory Overload Parenting Edition. It has a drawing of a person with long hair and thought bubbles that say, quote bubbles. I can't take a call when all I hear is my kids arguing in the background. I can't unsee the mess in my home. There are toys scattered everywhere and I can't ignore it. I'm having a hard time focusing with all of the simultaneous sounds. What's that smell? I can't find the source of it and it's driving me up the wall. Everyone wants to be physically close to me and I just need a bit of space. Does that TV have to be so loud? Is it really hot in here or is it just me? I'm so uncomfortable. When I saw these descriptions, I related to, I think, all of them. And, especially as a parent and just this experience of multiple sounds at once or things seeming louder or smellier to me than to other people. And just that struggle with, do I trust what I'm experiencing because no one else is experiencing it? And how do I get people to understand? But I wasn't even to the point of getting people to understand. I was really just denying. I was not noticing any of this. And I don't think, well, I recognized myself at that point in a way that probably wouldn't have been possible just a year before. This change occurred because of the pandemic shutdown. I had been in such a constant state of masking and overwhelm pre-shutdown that I didn't notice these feelings until all of the pressures of socializing and public life were removed. I'd been suppressing them so completely my entire life that I didn't even know they existed. I really didn't realize I was feeling these things. I just knew that I didn't feel good. And looking at this image now, I see that it was really just a tip of the iceberg for me in terms of the sensory overwhelm and challenges that I had. But this was what I needed. And just seeing this image was that wake up call for me to say, wait a minute, this is going on for me. And what do I do? So this one image acted as a key for unlocking a series of deeper and deeper insights into how my brain and body work differently from those of most people. My initial online research led me to think that I had sensory processing disorder. Luckily, I was able to find a local occupational therapist who works with adults on their sensory challenges, and I now know what a rare find she was. She had an opening within a few weeks, so it seemed like it would happen quickly, but I remember those first few weeks were excruciating because when I realized I had sensory sensitivities to nearly everything, all of my senses became like raw nerve endings. I was experiencing them almost like for the first time, like I was a baby again, and realizing, whoa, like it was just all coming through in a way that I had been blocking off for most of my life. It resulted in me wanting to escape into even more of a hole than the pandemic had forced me into. I mean, even though I was at home, I did still have my two kids and my husband at the time. And so I was still around a lot of sensory input. And I just really wanted to escape, get away from it. It felt like way, way too much. I remember distinctly how almost all sound made my skin crawl during that period. I really couldn't handle everything. It felt so overwhelming. I know now that this was actually healthy. I was finally experiencing my senses fully, which is a good thing once you know how to manage them. I needed to feel all of these things instead of expending so much of my energy on pushing my sensations so deep down that they didn't bother me. And I needed to feel them in order to figure out how to meet my needs instead of ignoring them. But in the moment, I was terrified that I would always feel so raw and overwhelmed by everything around me. Thankfully, working with the OT that I found was exactly the start I needed. She helped me develop a sensory diet that calmed all of my senses. I have a video about sensory diets that I'll link to at the end that I really recommend. I also read more about sensory challenges, and I listened to my body more instead of stuffing everything down and ignoring it. I just took that time, took that awareness, turned it inward, asking, what do I need? What is my body telling me? So soon I realized I was autistic, and over time I've developed many strategies and discovered many tools that support me in facing the world in partnership with my sensory system, not in spite of it. I now feel more regulated and empowered than I could have ever dreamed when I first saw that image on Facebook. So this is why I'm here. I want others to experience this same freedom from the overwhelm and the ignoring of your own needs, the internalized ableism that tells us not to listen to our own brains and bodies. And so I want others to feel as good as I feel and share this empowerment as a way to be an autistic adult other than what society is telling us to be free and to be openly and honestly yourself in a way that meets your needs and honors what your special autistic body needs. So please stay in touch. Watch my other videos about sensory challenges and learn more about my sensory empowerment program for autistic adults who want to reach this place of empowerment. I've used everything that I learned through this time in my life and through the last few years of living this way of honoring my sensory system in order to support others along this path. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more and look at my notes below for other ways to stay in touch with me. Bye.